So, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good, good. So, let's start this conversation.
Oh, sure. And
Mm,
as you know, as we have talked before, I'm the founder and CEO of Earth Escape, and we have developed our new technology in aerospace industry, and um, we are planning to promote our technology and to enlarge our business to a large customer base. So we need a new round of financing. And according to my projection, as you have seen before, um, we need $100 million to to build a small fleet of 6 RLVs.
okay, yeah. So, I know your company. I've been studying your company for a while. Actually, I love what you're doing and the purpose that you have.
Mhm.
Can you tell me a little bit about the background of your business? And so, for this round, you need 100 million to build six new
RLVs.
RLBs. But with previous rounds, what have you done with the money? So how is the
Sure,
company like
sure.
journey so far?
Sure. It was a long story. I was R&D in an aerospace company as an engineer, and I specialized in R&D in this area for over 25 years. So in some sense, I'm an expert. I started my company 4 years ago, aiming at to help people to explore overseas tour. I'm I have two co-founders. All of us are very specialized in aerospace engineering.
Hmm.
So we developed our own technology, which is very new and leading in the industry. We have a higher safety than other company, and we have verify our financial stability and sustainability for our business model. Um, and maybe you can also know that some other company can also have developed their own technology in RLVs, but ours is more safer than them, and we are even safer than the comparable airplane industry in the late 1920s. So you can see we have a very leading technology. We have a very leading position in technology, and we have verified our business model, and people are urging to buy our tickets. Even we have begun to sell our ticket to over other space tour, and a lot of people are willing to buy the tickets. It's a very promising industry.
Do you have any market research that back up the willingness to buy from the customers?
Yeah, sure. As I said, we have begun to sell tickets for the tour years later, but there's already a lot of people eager to buy the tickets.
Yeah, but basically, you have a queue of customers, so a line of customers willing to buy the ticket.
We sorry.
Do you have a long base?
Yeah.
So a big base of customers who are
Yeah.
willing to buy.
Yeah,
the
we
ticket.
can provide them an experience
Mm.
of zero gravity in the outer space.
Experience, yeah.
Yeah, and they can
Sounds
see.
exciting.
Yeah, and they can see the Earth from a totally different view, and people never see that before. And people nowadays, they're pursuing some different lifestyle, life experience, and they're looking for new topics with their friends.
So it sounds very promising. So what you have done with the customers, and the customers are willing to buy the ticket.
Mhm.
So, but I didn't know that. What are the other two co-founders? What do they do inside the company? What is the main like?
So far, I was leading the R&D, and but 2 years before, the R&D was transferred to another co-founder. I was also participating, but I'm not leading that. What my main role is to find our market niche and to find how much people are willing to pay, just as you said, how much people are willing to pay, how large our customer base is, and what we should provide to our what should we provide to our customers. And I do more marketing things, and the third guy was doing internal management mainly. But all of us are participating in R&D, and we have a group of people. We have a team of 35 people.
Okay.
So we just gone through our first initial phase. So our concentration was in R&D. We hope we can bring customers a new technology. We hope our business will stand on a very innovative technology that no one can compare with us. So we can have a very sharp advantage over any other companies. I think that is also what you want from our company.
Yeah, actually, so our company, Aeroban Investments, so we move into the aerospace industry.
Yeah.
And so why I'm here is because I
know
I respect what you're doing, and
thank you.
Also I think, as I said before, I mentioned before, it's very exciting. We know that you need 100 millions to build 6 new vehicles or 6 new, I don't know what to call
RLV.
RLV.
Yeah.
But also we just not get money, so we know the industry. We can leverage your company to grow further, and so basically that's why we are here.
Cool.
So because we just not give your money, we give smart money, because it's not 100 million.
Yeah.
We got back up those millions or those dollars with knowledge, with contacts, with we get into the company and we'll help you grow your business.
Yeah, we also want
and that
smart
way
money.
That way you grow and we grow.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
a situation that we all both create value.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not sure. I have provided you my projections over the next 5 years in growth, and I'm not sure whether you have done any investment of our company.
Sorry, about what?
I wondered if you do any investigation of our company.
No, we can go through the projections, because you sent me like 3 versions, like one very conservative, one moderate, and one very like aggressive.
Yeah.
If we can go through the numbers again, and so to put all the assumptions on the table about all those projections.
Yeah.
You don't have projections?
I don't have projections.
No.
I don't know. I made the projections. I know I made the projections, but I don't have the projection on my hand.
Oh, okay. You don't have the numbers.
I don't have the numbers.
Okay. But you made all the projections that you made.
Yeah.
And you're very comfortable about the future of your company.
Yeah.
So basically, if we do invest the 100 millions, and you are able to build the 6 new planes or the 6 new RLV, you are very you are sure that you will meet the projections in the future.
Yeah, we are very sure, and because I was the one who did the market research. I talked with our potential customers and sell the tickets, so I'm quite sure.
Okay.
Our business is very promising.
Do you know, just for curiosity, how much each ticket costs? Do you have that number? How many customers do you have? So in line. I don't have the number. Maybe you have, maybe you don't have. But if you don't have, we can move forward.
I don't have numbers.
Okay, no problem. So if you want, we can move forward and talk about each terms that we, as a VC, we need to talk about. So, do you have any preference about the order that we take for the terms? Do you prefer that we speak about any in particular?
Yeah, as for me, from my point of view, I think all the discussion was based on the evaluation of my company.
Yes.
So how about we start
Okay.
this? Yeah.
Let's start about that point. So,
Mhm.
so we can talk about pre-valuation and post-valuation value, but
Mhm.
so basically you need 100 million, so we can speak about the post-valuation
Yeah.
value of the company. So basically, I don't know your previous rounds.
Mhm.
So what do you think is your
Yeah.
company valuation after?
Sorry, I didn't tell you that. I had received my angel fund, which is also called seed fund. It was 23 millions.
23 millions?
Yeah. That's the only fund I received so far.
It's for just a
Just
one
one.
person, one company is,
Yeah, one.
and he is in the
Oh,
board.
sorry. From some wealthy individuals. Some wealthy individuals.
Ah,
not-
there's a bunch of individuals.
Yeah.
I don't know. You don't know how many.
Yeah.
So they are in the board of directors. So
They're not.
they're not
Yeah. The board are only 3 people,
Mhm.
me and 2 co-founders.
the performance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 23 millions. You know how much equity they got for those 23 millions?
Mm, they got some common stocks, but actually I don't know how many stocks they receive.
How much equity they got? So I don't know. So those 23 millions were the first investment. With those 23, you can build your first. You build your first vehicle. Your first. With those 23 millions, what did you do with those 23 millions?
Yeah,
You built the first.
yeah, we developed our technology. We built our experimental vehicles, and we do market research. We talk with customers. Yeah, and at this point, where is the time to do more marketing things.
So if I don't know if you have the answer, but if you don't, we can discuss. And if we invest 100 million, do you have any number, any post valuation number in mind? Do you know how your company is?
Yeah, as for to be honest, as for me, I think my company deserves 400 million post investment value.
So 400 million.
Yeah. But I'm also willing to.
So 400 millions, we will be putting 100 millions for a 25% of equity. If we assume that the 400 millions is the value, the post valuation.
Yeah, but that's from my point of view. What about yours?
So I will say it's a very risky investment for us because so basically you have customers that are willing to buy the ticket, but we are also, but on the other side, the 6 new RLB is just for new trials.
Yeah.
So I will say it's too risky just to invest 100 millions for a 25%. I will say that the company is worth between 150 and 200 millions.
Sorry?
150 and 200.
200. Okay. Our company. We are in a very risky industry. That's true. But our company has a very new leading technology, as far as I can see in the whole market, and we are the only promising one that could bring human beings, or could bring a bunch of human beings into the space.
Yeah.
And may I ask, how long you are willing to invest in my company?
How long?
Yeah.
So we invest in long term, so we are a long term like investors, and I don't have any specific term or specific date that I want to exit the business. It's more like we want to grow the business, and we want that we can establish not just a transaction, also a relationship, and moving forward we can add value to the company. I'm willing to invest the 100 million, but I think for a bigger perspective, 400 million valuation is too risky for us just to own like 25% of that company.
I see.
In the long term. And so I was thinking that with our investment, we can have more than 50% of the company. and that's why I suggest your post mod evaluation is just is 200 150 to 200 million.
I see. And I'm also looking for long-term investors to join our company as a partner. And we have received 23 million funds in our angel round, which is you can also know it's not a common standard in the industry. Usually it will be lower than that number. So as an angel, they see our company as a very promising one, and they are willing to invest so much to us with a to be honest, a very limited equities. And I hope I could live with my company for like 10 or 20 years. And it's like my baby. I emotionally I couldn't give more than half equities to others. It's from my emotion. You know that.
Yeah,
you know the feeling.
So basically if I can rephrase what you're saying, you're willing to stay long term. You want to stay in the company for
As long
10, 20 years
Yeah.
or long term. You don't want to give away more than 50%.
Yeah.
So basically, you want to preserve the majority of your company.
Yeah.
You as an individual, or you and the two co-founders.
All of us. All of us.
So all of you.
Yeah.
Not
Our
you
three.
alone.
Yeah. No, not me
Okay.
alone. Yeah.
Okay. So we can stay here and discuss the valuation.
Yeah.
So, but I have other terms. We can move to other terms, and we can come back to this term at the end
Okay.
if you want. Because I see that we are like 400 and 150 are like a lot of millions apart. So
Okay.
we can discuss other stuff, and at the end we can come back. I know that is a deal breaker, and we can agree or not agree in this point, and it can break the deal, but we
Yeah. I
can
know.
discuss other stuff, and then we can come back.
Then as you have said, and you want to invest in long term in our company.
Mhm.
So and I also want to be partner with you and as a working relationship. So I have 3 people in my board, and I want to add more people in my board.
So you have now 3 people,
Yeah,
three
including me.
persons, including you. You and the 2 co-founders.
Yeah.
So you
I
want to
want-
include more people or replace people?
More people.
So you want to have 5 members.
4 or 5.
So it should be like uneven numbers. So it should be like 3 or 5 that you don't have like any split decision.
I think it doesn't matter. Does it matter? I know.
I think it's not
usually-
in the case, but
usually it's an odd number.
yeah, but it used to be an odd number because
Yeah.
usually how it works is the chairman. If let's say it's a tie, 2 by 2, the chairman can decide.
Yeah.
If you go
Yeah.
to this side or the other side.
Usually it is.
So it should be like 3, 5, 7,
Yeah.
9, 11, and
Yeah.
so on, so on, so
Yeah.
forth. But
But it doesn't say. in the case.
yeah, it doesn't say, but
Yeah. No.
it's like an opinion, a personal opinion. I think it's not in the case, but it should be like an
Yeah.
even
Yeah. I know
number.
that.
And an odd number, sorry. I totally agree that we should like increase the number to at least 5.
Yeah. And I also want to bring people from outside of our company to give some advice.
Yeah, actually, that's one of the reasons we invest in companies, that we want to help the company grow, and we have experience in the aerospace industry, so we can bring people in the board. Also, as an investors, we should have people in the board, so we can have a board. I suggest that we take 3 places in the board, and you take 2.
Sorry, You mean you take 3 people in my board and I take 2? That means I will eliminate
one of the co-founders.
And then that will be another way to say you are the majority of my
It
board.
doesn't need to be that way. It can be that way, but I mean, you can have 3 spots in the board without having the majority. It's just that we think that we have knowledge that can help your company or our company grow in the future. I will say that 5 is a good number for both of us, and we can have like 2 or 3 members as a BC comp.
Okay, could you tell me more about these 3 people you suggest to add to my board?
So I don't have the specific names or
their expertise.
yeah. I think doesn't say, but as I mentioned, our BC company is we only move in this industry, in aerospace industry, so we have knowledge. I can't give you like any specific role, but we know a lot of financial stuff because we're in the financial industry also. So I mean we move. We have network. We can leverage our network. What you told me before, you 3 are very like engineering, R&D. I want to bring different perspective to the board with new people, and as an investor, I also want to lower the risk and have an opinion in the board. So I would say I leave it up to you. You can call the number. I will say minimum 2, maximum 3 from our side in a 5 people board, but you can call 2 or 3. I give that
I know
right to you.
As for me, I hope I could perceive the 3 of us in the board and add 2 more people in the board. The reason is because my company is a technology company, so the technology is the most important thing, as I think for our company. So I don't think 3 engineering background people are are too much, and I also hope I could bring some new blood in my board and to hear more voice from the outside of my company. So that's the reason why I want people from you. So I suggest more people from you.
Okay.
So I suggest, how about we set it as 2 people, so we can add 2, so we can reach 5 people in total in my board.
So 5 members board.
Yeah.
And how many people from our company? 2. And the other two,
3.
You and the other 2.
Yeah.
Out from the company or outsiders?
Me and my 2 co-founders.
Okay. So 2. Okay. Yeah, that's a point we already. Okay.
So are we agree on this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So to continue in the we spoke about your goals in the long term and you want to stay in the company.
Yeah.
So actually, as a VC, we are not just investing in the company; we're also investing in you. So we want to be sure that you stay in the company.
Sure.
So I propose that your shares they have like a vesting coverage. You know what vesting is. So I would say you told me you want to stay 10 or 20 or more years. Depend. I don't know how many years do you have or how many years are you gonna live. But thinking about the long-term company and the future this company has, I would suggest that your shares are hold in the equity side of the company, and each year we give you those stocks. I will say investing longer than 5 years, because you mentioned that you had the intention to stay in the company more than 10 years.
Yeah, I know. I totally agree with your concern, and as you may know, I have strong emotion with my company. I gave up my previous job where I stayed for 25 years to start this company, and I live with company for 4 years. So, and at this moment, it has some, it is some kind of formed into like a company size. I don't know where I should go if I leave this company. I don't want to give up my company as long as I could work. Um, so as for me, if I if the vet how to say the vetting period is too long, I would feeling it's not my baby. It was feeling I was being the
Yeah.
kind of thing. So I would say 3 or less would be better for me to accept this.
Less than what?
Less than 3.
Less than 3 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I respect your feeling, but I would say that 100 millions investing in a company, and then you can change your feeling in 2 years, and then you leave the company. So I put 100 millions in this company, and the CEO of the person who had the vision, as you did, will leave the company. I prefer to be more clear about the investment, not relying on those feelings for the long term. I respect that feeling, but in the long term, I mean, they are gonna be your shares. Vesting is not. I'm taking away your shares. It's just your shares, but I'm just trying to lower the risk in the long term. But you will keep your shares in the long term, as you mentioned before. But I will say that 3 years is a short time for 100 million investment.
So how many years did you say?
I will say that more than 5.
More than 5.
Because I'm just recalling the words you said, that you want to stay here longer than 10 years. So I think 10 years is too much, but we can have a number between 5 and 10.
It really doesn't matter for me to perceive my share in the company, but I hope I could take some control over my shares. It doesn't mean I will leave the company with my shares. I just want to have this confidence that I am dominating my company. I am responsible for my company. Can we do some handling to 4 to 5 years? 6 more than 6 years are really too much for me.
More than 5?
Yeah, more than 5 is really too much for me to accept emotionally. I would say 4 or 5 years.
Let's say 5 for the moment, but I have some
other terms
that we have to negotiate.
Okay.
Maybe we should come back to this term, but so far let's say at 5 years. Are you agree?
Okay.
So actually we have already agreed on 2 terms.
Yeah.
We have 8 terms to negotiate.
Yeah.
So should we talk about we have equity type of stocks and dividends. I think all those 3 are related to stock.
Exactly.
Let's leave those for the end. Can we talk about anti-dilution rights?
Yeah, okay. But,
or what do you want to address first?
Yeah, okay. Anti-dilution. As for me, I respect your effort for our company, and I would suggest I would hope we could cooperate in the long future. So I hope you could perceive your first first refusal rights.
You want that? I have that first
Yeah.
refusal,
Yeah.
an anti-delusion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair because I want to. If I trust your business and you have another
Yeah.
round, I want the first
Yeah.
right to
First refusal.
first refusal.
So
right.
agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Then I think the equity percentage and dividends are depends on the type of stock.
Yeah.
So we start with
With Startup, we can do number 7, number 8, and then we move again to number 1.
okay.
So replacement provision is talking about the projection that you
Yeah.
had. So you were mentioned that in the past you made all the projections,
Yeah.
and you have projection in the future.
Yeah.
So I know it's your baby, and we are doing this investment because we trust in your aggressive projections. So I will say if you don't meet those projections, you can stay in the company, but not as CEO. We can, the board can decide. It's not my call; it's the board call. Can decide to bring a new CEO because it's the both interest that the company grows, and if you are very good at R&D, but maybe the companies they have different challenge, human resources, marketing, other challenge that you as CEO eventually cannot meet. So I will say we can. It's difficult how to have this conversation, but I mean. We can stick to the aggressive projections, and if they are not met, we can do something about it. What do you think?
I feel aggressive projections is a little bit hard for us to meet because the economic over all over the world isn't very stable recently, and I'm not sure whether it will be better in the future. And our our industry is kind of tourism industry. It depends on the economics on the world. If the economic globally declines, there's no reason for our company to grow as fast as I had projected. So I feel it's very unlikely we could meet our aggressive projections if the economics goes down.
So what projections do you think you can meet?
My expertise is in R&D and now also in marketing and promotion. So I would say I prefer, of course I prefer no provision. Of course I would prefer, but I can totally confident that I could meet the conservative projections.
Yeah.
And from the projection can also say even the most conservative projection are very profitable. They may not be as profitable as aggressive projections in recent years, but it will be comparable in longer term, like 5 or 6 or 7 years later. And you are also want to invest in a long term.
Yeah, I'm listening to you. Sorry about that. Just read. Yeah. I mean, I recognize that this conversation is difficult to have. But I mean, for us, like conservative projections are very conservative. That would say that the company is not worth what you were saying, that 400 millions, because conservative projections are very conservative. I know that salespeople tend to have conservative projections that I can go above projections. I was telling aggressive and you were telling conservative. I don't know if we can have a midpoint agreement in the moderate projections. I mean, it's not the best scenario from you and not the best for me.
Yeah,
but I think it's a midpoint for both of us.
Yeah, I agree. Just a second. Oh, can we stop it? My in the work.
No, so we can.
stop it.
Why?
But it's already 30 minutes. 30 to 45 minutes is enough, the professor said.
45.
Yeah, 30 to 45 minutes is anytime between 30 and 45 is okay.
Oh, we can continue.
We can stop the recording.
No, we can continue 45 minutes.
Okay.
Why not?
Okay.
Yeah, let's try to finish this agreement.
Yeah, I would argue a little bit about my conservative projections because it's a total new industry. It has a lot of uncertainties that beyond my control, even your control, even the most smart people's control.
So okay, let's say if you think it's very risky, I will recall the equity discussion, and if you think it's very risky, so the valuation shouldn't be like 400 million, should be more like 150 millions, because you're saying that it's too conservative and it's too risky. So I would say it is too risky. The company is worth just 150 million.
Yeah, it's different from between risky and uncertainty. And I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty within my company. I mean, it may take a little bit longer than I had expected to have enough customers to for us to send enough customers to the other space. But I didn't mean we will fail to do that.
Yeah, but I mean also from a financial perspective, the longer you take, the less benefit I get as an investor. So I will say that I can accept your less aggressive projections, but I will have to say that your company is worth less than 200 million. Because I as an investor, I see a disconnection. You think your projections should be very conservative, but your company is worth 400 millions. As an investor, I see a disconnection there.
Maybe. Yeah, I said there's some uncertainty with my company, but it doesn't necessarily mean my company doesn't deserve more than 200 million evaluation.
No, maybe it deserve, and I hope it will deserve in the future when the uncertainty decrease. But right now, I think, as you mentioned, there's a lot of uncertainty because the economic issues in the world. So it's a premium product. So I would say the company is not good for you that value more than 400. For us, it's also very good that in the future it's value 400, 1 billion, 2 billion. But right now, in the moment we are right now and the round you are founding, I think we have to match the projections with the valuation. Is my point of view.
Yeah, my concern is if the economics overseas all over the world is declining, not my company will be suffered. Every company will be. But I just concerned about that issues.
Yeah, every company, but also as an investor, you can point your money in a company with less uncertainty, or you can keep the money and don't invest in this moment. But I will recognize that we want to invest in you, and you maybe need the money. I don't know if you have other investors on site. You are talking with other investors, but I will recognize that we want a good match. But I see that disconnection between the projections and the value. I just want to be clear that I see that, and then we can agree on the valuation or in the projections.
Or how can we arrive some point between moderate and conservative?
I don't have that option.
I don't have that either.
I have conservative.
Yeah, I know, but can we meet at the middle point?
I don't know. I think it's difficult because we don't have numbers. I think which, according to the assignment, I think we either conservative, moderate, or aggressive.
Is it real world? Is it the real world? In the real world?
No, I think in the real world you can see the numbers and
Yeah.
lower one number and
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
But I think in this assignment it's just
Yes
A,
or
B,
no?
or C.
Oh,
I think so. We can ask the professor that.
okay. I could make it as moderate projections at this moment, but maybe we would come back here
Okay.
later.
I think one that for me is, I don't know if for you is difficult, but I don't know if you have another. I just already asked you. You have another investors. I will say that as a company, we ask the company that we are investing that they do not go job provision. I don't know if you agree that that provision is included in the term sheet.
Yeah, this is included in my term sheet, but I think whether I would willing to accept no shop provision depends on the equity the equity things.
Okay, so let's
So, yeah.
discuss the equity.
So we come back with our evaluation.
Yes, the difficult.
Yeah, the difficult one.
Yeah, but
Based on what we have talked so far, did you have any change on your mind about the evaluation of my company?
so I will say, I will stop in the 200 million because you had the control within the board because you have like 3 members out of 5. So you have you and the 2 co-founders. Maybe you have 3 out of 5. You control the board, and the 200 million you have 50, and we have 50.
Yeah, but if in that case 50, and I would not have 50 because I have angel fund.
How much they have?
I don't exactly know, but if you take the evaluation as 200 million and you invest in 100 million, that means you will have 50% equity.
But you control the board.
Yeah, and then I will have less than 50 because I have an angel.
And you have co-founders. I understand that point, but so you will remain as CEO. You will control the board. Basically, you will control the company. We don't want to banish the company. That's why we invest in you and we invest in the company. So we don't want control. We just want that, given the uncertainty in the company and the risk, we want to have at least 50% of the company, but we are not controlling the company. You are controlling the company as CEO and as the 3 out of 5 members of the board.
Yeah, but
because you don't know how many stocks the angels have. So how many stocks can I have?
But as a founder, if I have less than 50% equity, I would have I would have face a lot of difficulties when big issues arise. Board doesn't have total authority to make decisions. They can just influence decisions. So even if I have more people than you on the board, that doesn't necessarily mean I can control the company.
Yeah. So if the company is having a bad situation, yeah, I mean, we all the stakeholders have interest in the company. I mean, it's it's a difficult topic because I think the feelings are into this conversation. You're saying that you think the company is your baby. We don't have that feeling with the company. We're just financial guys. We don't have that feelings. But I will say, right now, you don't know how many stocks do you have.
It's not about our negotiation. I mean, as a CEO, I should know. But in this case,
you don't know. I mean, you don't know in this case. You don't know how many stocks do you have.
But in reality, I should know.
Of course. So because it's a difficult one, I see we're having.
And to hold more than 50% of equity, I would have more incentive to meet our aggressive projections.
Why you have more incentive?
Because
Are you saying that if
because
I have more than 50, you don't have that incentive?
Because I will feel I am in control of my company.
You are in total control right now.
But if I have less than 50,
Just
Okay.
stop.